Once in a generation, you see the embodiment of greatness. It was Michael Jordan on the basketball court. It was Tiger Woods on the golf course. And in the Dean Suite, it was Patrick Hobbs, a man who the Lord sprinkled stardust over, and he led our institution brilliantly for 16 years. But let me highlight two things. The first, the U.S. News and World Report rankings. Some people don't want to reference those because they feel like the methodology is wrong or crass. But right now, it's all we have. And the Dean has the privilege of leaving our institution at the highest ranking we have ever had, number 63. But more than that, we are the 5th ranked Catholic law school in the country and the 4th ranked law school in the New York metropolitan area in the company of Columbia, NYU, Fordham, and Seton Hall. That's amazing. His second greatest accomplishment is creating a culture of giving among our alumni. People chose to give back during our capital campaign. In the teeth of the Great Recession, Pat Hobbs led us to a campaign success of over $25 million. That was all bent on his sheer will and determination.
I think Pat's legacy is Seton Hall law rising. And by that, I mean rising in the rankings, rising in the innovation coming out of this law school, rising in the number and quality of the partnerships, rising in the quality, depth of the student body and the faculty. This law school is on the rise, and that is due to Pat Hobbs.
The transformation of the law school's reputation from being a fine law school to a truly outstanding law school, one of the top Catholic law schools in the country, and that transformation, I think, has lifted the whole university. And I've always viewed the law school as the tip of the spear from Seton Hall's academic reputation.
I think the law school has improved enormously under his leadership. The previous dean brought us to the verge of being a great law school, put all the pieces in place, but Pat built on that into the point where I think Seton Hall is a leader among law schools.
I think Pat had a vision, and that vision was one that combined both his strategic and his innovation skills, and then he used his consensus building to create a vision that went across the law school in a way that put everybody, faculty, administration, alumni, and the board, all on the same page and striving for the same goals.
Dean Hobbs' legacy is that we are a law school that's completely student-centered. We're an open-door law school. We are a law school that is here for the students. We are always here for the students.
I've spoken to so many students over the years that have come through Seton Hall Law School. And when you ask about Dean Hobbs, when you just mention his name, they say, he is amazing. What he's done for me, how he's helped me with my schoolwork, to getting a job, to, I was thinking of quitting and he kept me going. He was so in touch with the students that's his legacy. He really cares.
Dean Hobbs has taught me what I want to be like when I'm a lawyer. He's taught me what it's like to fight for justice and to stand up for those who haven't really found their own voice yet.
He motivated me to be more than just a law student, to participate in extracurricular activities, such as the Gressman Moot Court competition, in which I did participate in and won.
I think Dean Hobbs' biggest accomplishment is that he's provided a consistent environment to where his students can get the best possible education year in and year out.
Pat Hobbs' greatest accomplishment over the last 16 years was a wonderful improvement in the outcomes for our students, as well as the increasing quality of our entering student body, and also the exceptional growth in the quality of our faculty as both scholars and teachers.
I would say the dramatic progress that the school has made is his legacy, as well as the enormous pride that students, alum, faculty, and administrators feel in being associated with Seton Hall.
So if you were a student, a staff member, administrator, a colleague, professor, or an alum, you knew you had access to him because he viewed his role as a steward and as a servant that encompassed his deanship.
And at the end of the day, what is a law school if it's not about the people inside the four walls? He has a keen interest in supporting their dream to become lawyers, the faculty's desire to be the best teaching faculty in the United States, and the staff's desire to serve the law school as best they can. And Pat, through support and leadership, has brought out the best in all of those groups of people in this law school. That's one of his great magical touches.
Pat's influenced me because Pat's one of those people who dares to dream, and anything's possible. And when you're around people like that, it can't help but inspire you to think about the impossible and to dream big and to dream about how big not only Seton Hall can become, the law school, the athletic department for my purposes, but just people in general. And you see that all around the people that he works with. He inspires them, he leads them, and he really does. He makes them think about things that are bigger than themselves.
It's his positive, can-do attitude that has infused everything that I've done as a development officer and has made me better. And for that, I'm extremely grateful.
Pat's love of people goes to the core of who he is, which is his kindness. He is probably one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life. He gives everybody a second, a third, a fourth chance. He sees the good in everybody. And I think that's what I've most learned about from him and how he's affected me and made me a better person.
His sincerity, his honest approach to things, his direct answers, and the fact that he just exhibited those great tendencies of his to make everyone feel at ease.
Dean Hobbs' legacy is compassion for people. Regardless of how busy he is, he always makes time for us, all of the students, and the entire Seton Hall Law family.
What I admire most in him is his ability to see every side of the picture.
It's really rare at a law school when you have one professor who can teach both federal income tax and law and literature. He's wide-ranging.
The two words that seemed to fit very well together was natural leader.
He's one of the best leaders I've ever been around. Any organization will take on the characteristics of the leader, and there's no better leader for Seton Hall Law the last 16 years than Pat Hobbs.
He leads fearlessly and with measured steps.
The one word I'd use for Dean Hobbs is passionate.
Pat is an incredibly passionate person and passionate about Seton Hall, all things Seton Hall.
Enthusiasm. He radiates it for the law school and sets the tone for the law school. It permeates every brick of the law school, every person that walks through the door, and that is what makes Seton Hall Law a special place.
One word I've often used to describe him would be dad. Another word I would have to use to describe him is dedicated, because he's always been dedicated. He's always understood that you have to show up every day and bring it. It's not just a good soundbite. It's something he really believes in.
On behalf of the Board of Visitors, the alumni, the adjunct faculty, the legal community of New Jersey, thank you.
Thank you, Dean Hobbs.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Dean Hobbs.
Thank you, Pat, and good luck.
Thank you, Dean Hobbs.
Thank you, Dean Hobbs.
Thank you, Pat.
Pat, thanks so much for all you've done for Seton Hall.
Pat, thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you so much, Dean Hobbs.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Dean Hobbs.
Pat, thank you, thank you, thank you for all you have done. You have taken us beyond what anybody would have dreamed 16 years ago when you were named the dean.
Pat, thank you for everything.
On behalf of Allie, John, and myself, thank you, Dad, and love you.